Welcome to the Avatar series right here at Comicstorian, your home for dramatic readings of your favorite comic books. I'm your narrator Dan, and today we're going to be covering the first part of the Avatar series, Smoke and Shadow. The Fire Nation capital. The night is dark. In his home, Yukino is awoken by voices in his bedroom. Yukino, you're a failure! Yukino, a disgrace! The voices call. Yukino sits up, staring at the cloaked figures in his room. They float before him on a wave of smoke, their tattered robes blowing gently. You failed as the governor of New Ozai, but we offer you the chance for redemption, they whisper to him. You're the Kamurakage, Yukino stutters in fear. The Kamurakage lean forward, telling Yukino that safety is born from strength, and that as long as Zuko is on the throne, the Fire Nation is in danger. Act now! Depose the weakling! Redeem yourself or suffer! They order him. Yukino still can't believe it, but the smoke dissipates, and the strange spirits are gone. The next day, Yukino stands before the members of the New Ozai Society. He tells them that they've been patient, but the time to act has come. He reports that his spies have told him that the Fire Lord will return tomorrow, with his friends and his mother, Ursa. The name brings boos from the room. He says that the journey over land will leave Zuko vulnerable for long periods. Tomorrow, we remove Zuko not only from the throne, but from the face of the earth. Tomorrow, we will restore the Fire Nation to glory. Tomorrow, we attack! He shouts to his group. Yet one young man isn't cheering. Kalo walks into Yukino's chambers after his speech, asking to speak with their leader. He asks why they are attacking now, when before, Yukino has said that they would need months to prepare and plan. Kalo, I have recently had premonition of sorts. We can no longer wait on this, Yukino tells him, reaching out for the man. Fear is in the leader's eyes as he tells Kalo that safety is born of strength. Out on the ocean, Aang and Ki laugh as they ride the back of the flying dolphin fish as Sokka and Katara watch from the bow of Zuko's boat. Zuko and his mother step on the deck, feeling the sea air on their faces. The captain says we're only a day away from the mainland. So much has changed, Mother. I can't wait to show you around, Zuko tells Ursa with a smile. Ursa laughs, putting her hand to her son's face and commenting on how his eyes still sparkle when he gets excited. Zuko smiles, turning from his mother to check on his friends. Alone, Norin expresses concern for his wife, noting that her hands always get cold when she is worried. And for a moment, Ursa's eyes show fear. It's just been a long time since I've been in that place. I'll be fine, she tells her husband. She turns, gasping as she sees Ki riding the sea creatures with Aang. Ki, come back! She screams, despite Katara explaining that it's perfectly safe. Aang brings the young girl back, apologizing and explaining that she wasn't in danger. But Ursa grabs her daughter, pulling her into a hug. I can't lose you. I can't, she gasps. But Ki isn't happy, trying to pull away from the woman she doesn't recognize. Let go! Let go! She yells before running to Norin and asking him to take her downstairs. Zuko comes over, telling his mother that Ki just needs some time since Ursa regained her original face. Aang once again apologizes, but Ursa tells him not to and that she is embarrassed for overreacting. With these words, she wanders away to be by herself on the deck of the ship. Back in the capital, Ty Lee enters a flower shop, happy to find the family of her friend Mai within. She is surprised to see Michi and Tom Tom, but Michi explains that she discovered that Mai's father is not handling the new Fire Lord very well, and they had no choice but to leave. I thought I heard your voice, Mai says, coming out of the back room. Ty Lee grabs her friend, hugging her and leading her out of the room, and quickly they find themselves in a tea shop down the road. Inside, Ty Lee fills Mai on everything she's missed since she left Zuko in the capital. Ty Lee then changes the subject, asking if Mai has been seeing anyone. The young woman tells her that she met a boy named Kai Lo who had bought flowers and then gave them to her. Yet she discovered that he worked for her father and was trying to recruit her into his secret society. "I'm sorry, May, but I promise that not all guys are jerks," Ty Lee tells her. But May explains that Kai Lo has been meeting her in secret for the past couple of weeks. Ty Lee is shocked, but May explains that she thinks she can use Kai Lo to stop her father. He has told her that they have something big planned for Zuko's return, and that she asked him to meet her here so that Ty Lee can get a read on him. As if on cue, Kai Lo enters the tea house, pulling down his hood. "Over here, babe," May calls, her entire demeanor changing. Back aboard Zuko's ship, his group of friends bid him goodbye in the night. Aang explains that Zuko and his family need the time together to bond. Zuko smiles, thanking his friends for everything they did and hugging Aang goodbye. "Happy to be there for you, buddy," Sokka tells him, patting Zuko on the back. The friends quickly board Appa, taking off into the night. "We'll see each other before you know it. Yu Dao's inaugural celebration is in a week," Aang calls, waving goodbye as they float into the air. Zuko smiles up into the darkness as his friends fly away. He turns, finding his mother on the deck of the ship, looking out on the dark ocean. He watches a tear fall down her cheek, and he steps forward, revealing himself. "Mom, you okay?" he asks as he dabs at her eyes. "Zuko, I'm fine," she tells him simply. Meanwhile, in the tea house, Kai Lo has finished telling the girls about Yukino's plot. "You're so brave to bring this information to us, Kai Lo. I'm so impressed," Mai tells him, a big smile on her face. Kai Lo smiles, telling them that he did it for May. He gets up to leave, and May calls out to him. "Bye, babe," she yells. "He's out of earshot. You can stop being so fake now," Ty Lee snaps. May turns back, her entire demeanor shifted again. "Well?" she asks. Ty Lee is shocked that May can lead Kai Lo on like that, but May shrugs it off, explaining that it's for a good reason. "That boy's got a good aura. I think he's being truthful, which is more that I can say about you right now," Ty Lee tells her. On the boat, Zuko and his mother continue to talk as they look out on the ocean. He tells her not to worry, that Kiyi will come around to Ursa's new face. But she nods, telling him that she was actually thinking about her other daughter, Azula. That she hopes that she is warm and happy, wherever she is. Zuko nods, telling his mother that he searched for weeks through Forgetful Valley, and that Azula will only be found when she wants to be found. "I'm sure she's safe. If nothing else, she knows how to survive. Happy though? I don't even know what that would mean for her," Zuko tells his mother. Finally, Ursa forces a smile. "Zuko, we shouldn't be so dour on the eve of our homecoming. It'll be wonderful to see you in your element," she tells her son, taking his hand. Zuko is shocked that his mother's hands are freezing and moves to lead her below deck. But they are both stunned as a messenger hawk lands on the rail. Zuko pulls free the message from the Kyoshi warriors, reading it quickly. When questioned, he tells his mother that it's nothing he can't handle and sends her below deck. The next day, Ursa is surprised that they haven't reached Harbor City, but are just off the coast. Zuko nods, telling her that they have changed plans. And suddenly, the water next to them begins to bubble as a submarine breaks the surface. "Wow! What is that?" Kiyi yells. "A submarine! A ship that goes underwater! It's based on one of my friend Sokka's designs," Zuko tells them. "That funny guy with the boomerang?" Doran asks. "That's him," Zuko nods. The hatch pops and Iroh reveals himself, waving to his nephew. He gets out, hugging his nephew and accepting thanks for acting in his place. Iroh turns, bowing to Ursa and apologizing for all the pain that his family has caused her. He is shocked though as Ursa pulls him into a hug. "Iroh, what are you apologizing for? Your presence in the family always gave me hope," she tells him. Zuko holds his hand out, helping Suki off the ship, and she confirms the plan with him. She'll escort him and his family along a hidden route, while a decoy takes the main roads. "So you were able to find a decoy then? Who?" Zuko asks. "Well, Iroh sort of volunteered," she says as they both turn to see the old man smiling and waving vigorously. "No offense, Uncle, but you and I don't really look alike, Zuko tells his uncle. But Iroh smiles, telling his nephew that the people will only see his hand. What do you think? Is my hand waving filled with enough angst? I've been practicing all morning, Iroh tells him, demonstrating his angst-filled wave. Finally, they all begin to board. Zuko leans down to his sister, convincing her to take Ursa's hand even though she doesn't want to. They all board the submarine and take off, allowing the flagship to continue on its way. Arriving at Harbor City, the ship is greeted by throngs of supporters cheering for the return of Fire Lord Zuko. The ramp lowers, allowing the Fire Lord's carriage to drive forward. Everyone cheers as the Fire Lord waves to them. Inside, the guard turns to Iroh. "Why so sullen, General Iroh?" he asks, looking at Iroh's serious face. "I find that method acting works best for me. How can I wave with angst if I don't feel the angst?" Iroh tells the man. Meanwhile, the other Kyoshi warriors wait off the coast as the submarine arrives. The family quickly disembarks, boarding the waiting carriage. The group doesn't hesitate, quickly beginning to move away from the shore. Along the normal route, Mai and Ty Lee look out from one of the watchtowers. Mai's eyes narrow as she looks out at the road as the convoy begins to grow closer. A watchtower every 100 yards or so? A narrow road that forces you to travel single file? This is probably the most heavily fortified road in the Fire Nation. Why would my dad choose here, in broad daylight? He's a lot of things, but stupid isn't one of them, Mai tells her friend. Kylo's a liar, she hisses. But Ty Lee defends the man, telling Mai that she was the one who was lying the other day. Finally, one of the warriors interrupts them, telling them that the convoy draws near. Ty Lee draws their attention, pointing to a group of men sliding down from the hills around them. "Up there! That must be them!" she shouts. "What did I tell you? Good aura, that boy," Ty Lee shouts as they all leap out of the watchtower's window. On the ground, the new Ozai warriors have already surrounded the Fire Nation soldiers, knocking several of them off their ostrich horses. "How can you defend that imposter?" one of the Ozai warriors snarls, standing over a Fire Nation soldier, his hand ready to shoot flame. But Ty Lee is there, hitting the warrior in several pressure points and dropping him to the ground. The rest of the Ozai warriors are dropped quickly as Mai moves to the carriage. "Iroh, you okay in there?" she asks. The door bursts open, revealing the elderly Bender. "Oh yes, the Dragon of the West is ready!" he shouts, but his face drops as he sees the warriors defeated around him. But he quickly gathers himself. "Good work, everyone, and so quick!" he congratulates the group of soldiers. Mai nods, admitting that it was over too quickly. "My father gathers an army, yet he sends these 6 buffoons to take out Zuko? It doesn't add up," she whispers. She bends down, trying to get information out of one of the warriors, but they are interrupted as Suki's distress flare shoots up over the forest. "So much for Kylo's good aura," Mai hisses. In the forest, Zuko's convoy is stopped as a tree suddenly falls in their path. "What's going on?" Zuko questions from the window. Suki looks back, telling him that an old tree fell in their path. But Zuko turns, looking at sticks of dynamite tied to another tree. "I don't think that tree fell because it's old. Get down!" he shouts. The bombs explode, surrounding the group with fallen trees. "Free Fire Lord Ozai! Free Fire Lord Ozai!" the Ozai Society chants from the woods. The Kyoshi warriors draw their fans, preparing themselves. "Ready yourselves, sisters! We're in for a fight!" Suki yells. Zuko turns, ordering his family to stay in the carriage. The warriors continue to chant as Yukino steps forward, a mask covering his face. "Zuko, the time has come for you to return the throne to the one true Fire Lord. We demand you step down at once. Do so peacefully, and no harm shall come to your family," he shouts. Zuko looks up, smiling slightly. "Let me get this straight. You expect me to give up my destiny, my rightful place in the nation, just because a bunch of thugs who were too cowardly to show their faces asked me to? He asks. Well, yes? Yukino nods, sweat breaking out on his forehead. Ridiculous! Zuko snaps, throwing a massive fireball at them. Yukino orders his men to attack, and the battle begins. Suki fires her signal flare into the air as Zuko rushes towards 3 of the attackers. He leaps, kicking and throwing flames as the Kyoshi warriors leap amongst the Ozai Order with their fans. There's no end to them, Zuko shouts, turning back towards Suki, just in time to watch her get snagged by a bolo. He turns as another of the Ozai warriors fires a bolo at him as well, and he falls to the ground, captured. Ha! Not bad for what was it you called us? A bunch of thugs? Yukino laughs from his perch. He turns to his men, ordering them to attack the carriage while he reminds Zuko that he didn't give up peacefully. Leave them alone! They've got nothing to do with this, Zuko shouts. This is wrong, Master! I won't let you hurt those people! Kylo shouts, pulling down his mask to reveal his face. He leaps down, cutting Zuko free, and the two leap to attack the remaining warriors. Yukino looks down, with no surprise in his eyes. Kylo, I wondered how long it would take you to finally reveal your treachery. I knew long ago that your heart had abandoned the righteous path, and that's why you proved useful to me. Zuko and Kylo are pushed back to back, with the Fire Lord demanding to know why Kylo freed him. Let's just say we have a mutual friend, Kylo tells him. Who? Zuko asks. Her! Kylo shouts as they look up to see Mei and the rest of the Kyoshi warriors dropping from their airship towards them. Mei lands, throwing her knives at the Ozai warriors. Now, finally, the Dragon of the West is ready for action! Iroh shouts with a giant smile. Mei turns, grabbing Kylo. I knew you couldn't be trusted, she snaps. Kylo tries to defend himself, explaining that the society fed him bad information. I vouch for him, Zuko tells her. What? You don't know a thing about him, Mei snaps in disbelief. I know his name is Kylo and he just helped save my family, Zuko tells her. But Mei isn't listening anymore as she hears her father's voice coming from amongst the Ozai society, ordering them into battle. She leaps away, joining her father on the fallen tree. Have you lost your mind? This is treason, she snaps at her father. You've never been able to see past your own needs, daughter, he tells her. One of his warriors leaps past, raining blows on Mei. Yukino shouts at the man, telling him to stop. You gotta stop, bro. Boss's orders, another warrior yells, leaping in to help. Tell her that, the man shouts, trying to block Mei's flurry of blows. Kylo leaps in, trying to help Mei. Attack him, you imbeciles! No mercy for Kylo, Yukino yells. So, who gets mercy? I'm so confused, one of the society's warriors mumbles. Together, Kylo and Mei quickly dispatch the warriors. Kylo tries to explain to Mei why he did what he did, but she brushes him off. Kylo apologizes, telling her that he really does like her. Suddenly, one of the warriors rushes them, and Kylo is knocked from the log, falling towards the earth below. Mai flips the warrior, knocking him out. Kylo? She shouts. I'm okay. My leg might not be, but I am, he shouts back up to her. Mei turns as her father comes up behind her, pulling down his mask. Mei, it's just you and me now. Please, listen, he tells her. Meanwhile, Zuko is surrounded by the rest of the society warriors. Fitting, isn't it? The imposter Fire Lord meets his end in a roaring fire. One of them laughs. They blast Zuko, showering him in flames. But the flames join together, becoming a massive fiery funnel. And Zuko is revealed standing on the carriage, swirling the fire around him until he sends it up into the sky. New Ozai Society, this is your last chance. Surrender now, or face your Fire Lord's wrath, he shouts as the flames spin around him. Above them, Yukino explains that everything he does for the Fire Nation. He believes that Zuko has compromised their strength to appease the Avatar. that he has lost control of the nation and that they will never be safe. May points below them, asking her father that if Zuko is so weak, then why are all your nutjob followers either surrendering or fleeing for their lives, she questions. But Yukino shakes his head, pointing out that Zuko has no problem bullying his own people. Finally, he holds up his hands. If you don't think there's any truth in what I'm saying, go ahead. Arrest me, he tells her. Ow! 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 Kylo whispers with every step as he moves through the forest. Are you planning on hobbling all the way back to Capital City? May asks, coming up behind him. It's what, 5 miles? 10 tops? I could make it. He smiles at her. But she puts an arm around his shoulder, smiling as she tells him that they can ride in the Kyoshi Warriors' airship. Where's your dad? He asks. He got away, May says, averting her eyes. Finally, they arrive in the capital city. Zuko thanks the Kyoshi warriors for their aid before he begins to show his family around the castle. Ki-yi and Norin quickly head off, while Ursa is more hesitant. Just tired from all the excitement, she tells Zuko when he asks. He nods, offering to show her to her old room. One of the guest rooms will be fine, she tells him. She begins to move through the castle, sadness and fear in her eyes. Zuko thanks his uncle for his help as he comes through the door. Think she'll be okay? He asks, indicating his mother. Time heals all wounds, Iroh tells him solemnly. But Iroh knows that this is not the only thing bothering Zuko, and the Fire Lord admits that he is worried about the new Ozai society, and wonders if Iroh would be willing to go to the Yu-Dao ceremony so that he can focus on things at the palace. I was about to suggest the same thing. You're growing in wisdom, Zuko, Iroh tells his nephew with a smile. Because I'm beginning to think like you? Zuko asks. Well, yes, Iroh admits. Ursa moves through the palace, fear sweeping through her body as the old feelings of anxiety overtake her. She stops, staring up at a large painting of Ozai as if it is looking at her. In his headquarters, Yukino stares up at a different image of Ozai. Smoke fills the room as Yukino turns in fear. You have failed to redeem yourself, the Kamurakage whisper. You must suffer. But Yukino begs for their mercy. He tells them that he needs more time, and for them to give him a month. If that weakling is still on the throne, he pleads. Then you shall lose all that is dear to you, the Kamurakage finish for him. With these words, they are gone. A month later, May and Kylo are walking down the street. I can't believe that you wouldn't go out with me until my leg healed, Kylo says to her. Casts are so unattractive, May admits. They continue to talk, with Kylo explaining once again why he abandoned Yukino for May. Suddenly, their conversation is interrupted as they hear May's mother scream. They look up, seeing 3 cloaked Kamurakage moving along the rooftops. You! Stop! What were you doing in our shop? May shouts, throwing her knives. She leaps onto the roof, trying to fight the strange cloaked figures. Who are you? What do you want? She demands. We have what we want, the Kamurakage whispers, moving their cloak to reveal a sleeping Tom-Tom. May tries to rescue her brother, but the Kamurakage disappear in a cloud of smoke. The next morning, May and her family stand before the police. The officer asked her if she has a good description of the attackers. They looked like Kamurakage, she explains. May explains that the Kamurakage were an old myth from her village, that they were supposed to snatch children from their beds when they misbehaved. But her mother steps forward telling her that it was just a myth. The Kamurakage aren't supposed to be real, she sobs. But it seems they are, Zuko says from the doorway. The guards turn to bow. What are you doing here? May asks. I heard about what happened last night. I'm here to help. If we're up against spirits, though, we'll need more than just me. We'll need the Avatar. And that is the conclusion to Avatar Smoke and Shadow, Part 1. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon to get the notifications, And if you want to see more of me, I am Dan T Producer on Twitter and Instagram, and Cyloo91 on Twitch. That's CYLOO91. Thank you guys once again, and I will see you next time with Smoke and Shadow Part 2.